Pascal was right to claim that if the same dream came to us every night, we would be as much absorbed with it as with things which we see every day. If a mechanic were sure to dream every night 12 complete hours straight through that he were king, then I believe, says Pascal, that he would be just as fortunate as a king who dreamed every night for 12 hours that he was a mechanic. The waking day of a mythically aroused people, such as the ancient Greeks, is, through the continuous effect of marvel as it appropriates the myth, is, as a matter of fact, more like a dream than it is like the day of a scientifically down-to-earth thinker. I think that's true. I think that people who lived in ancient Greece were constantly worrying, is Athena gonna curse me? Is Zeus gonna fight with a different god in front of me and ruin my day? As a matter of fact, more like a dream than it is like the day of a scientifically down-to-earth thinker. If any tree could speak as a nymph someday, or a god in a bull's skin could drag a young woman away, if the goddess Athena herself is suddenly seen as she drives through the markets of Athens with a beautiful team of horses in Pisistratus's company, and an honest Athenian believes it, then anything is possible in any moment, as in a dream, and all nature swarms around people as if it were only a masquerade of the gods, who only made a joke of deceiving humanity in all shapes. Humans themselves, however, have an unconquerable tendency to let themselves be deceived, and are like people enchanted by good fortune if the rhapsode narrates an epic tale to them as true, or if a player in a play acts the king's role still more regally than reality shows the king to be. The intellect, the master of dissimulation, is free and is released from its former slave labor, so long as it can deceive without harm. Then it celebrates its Saturnalia. It is never more wanton, richer, more arrogant, cleverer, and more audacious. With creative delight, it jumbles up metaphors and shifts the boundary markers of abstraction, so that, for example, it designates the stream as the moving path which carries people places they otherwise walk. Now it has thrown off the sign of its servitude, formerly concerned to show with gloomier officiousness the path of the tool to some poor individual who lusts after being, and like a servant of a master who is setting out for plunder and loot, now it has become the lord and may wipe off the expression of indigence from its face. Whatever it does now in comparison with its former conduct, everything conveys dissimulation in itself as the earlier bore distortion in itself. It copies human life, but takes this as a good thing, and appears to be quite content with it. That monstrous beam and board structure of concepts which needy people clamp onto to save their lives is only a scaffolding and a toy for the liberated intellect, for its most audacious stunts. And if the liberated intellect destroys it, jumbles it up, and ironically puts it together again, uniting the most disparate and separating neighbors, then it reveals that it doesn't need that stopgap of the needy, and that it is now is led not by concepts, but rather by intuitions. No regular path leads from these intuitions into the land of spectral schemata, of abstractions. Words are not made for them. People are speechless when they see them, or they speak in pure forbidden metaphors and in unheard of conceptual couplings, in order at least to correspond creatively to the impression of the powerful contemporary intuition through the demolition and derision of the old conceptual barriers.